guys, today lately, I have been enjoying the beige tints and the white concrete textures. So when you type it on Pinterest, it gives you thousands of pictures that look alike. You just have to pick some of them for inspiration. Seems like I'm running out of time, but let me know if you want a part 2. Bye.
How I got $150,000 in Bloxburg in under 2 hours. Make sure you have a good mood station. Here is my mood station. Try to add areas where you can multitask. Here are some examples. When getting food, try to find the largest option. Fruity fruit snacks are a good option if you have no kitchen type area. I know most people won't want to hear this, that the best way to farm is going to work and grind promotions. Currently, I'm on level 23 on the pizza delivery job and make an average of 2,000 per 1 minute. I recommend watching your favorite YouTubers, listening to your favorite songs or podcasts, watching Netflix, Disney Plus, or really anything whilst farming.
Here are the fastest ways you can make money in Bloxburg. If you want to make $5,000 without working a job and without planting anything, here's a very easy way for you to make 5K in like 2 minutes. As you can see, I already do have a giant seashell, which is worth $5,000. And I'm going to be showing you how you can get this. So make sure you head over to the beach, and this is going to be in a different spot for everyone, but it'll be about in a similar area. So focus on this portion of the water near lovely lumber and right below the observatory. It should not go any further than this, but it might be a little bit further for you. Mine was about right here. The best way to do this is completely zoom in and just swim along the line of the rocks and the sand, and eventually you're going to see an item that's called a giant seashell, and you just click E and pick it up, and then it's going to go into your inventory and you can sell it for $5,000. So just swim along this line, and it should be somewhere over here or somewhere down in the creek of lovely lumber.
Stop scrolling. Here are 3 tips to helping you build better in Bloxburg. Tip number 1. In Bloxburg, you have to find your style of building, whether that be farmhouses, beachy houses, suburban houses, modern houses, or pastel houses. Personally, I'm a beachy builder, and it took me years to find out what my building style was. Make sure you're trying out every style in Bloxburg, because you never know which one is for you. You know that you found your building style when you can build for hours without stopping, and you know what to put where, how to color it. That's how you know when you found your building style. And it's also always good to look for inspiration. Tip number 2. Have a color scheme. Don't forget before you start building to have a color scheme on the side. I personally don't need this anymore, but when I first started to build my new style, I always kept a color scheme on deck. And don't forget to use wall trims. Use them on the outside and the inside of your house. And the last tip for you guys today is to use plants. Whether this be custom plants, or you garden these plants, or you buy the fake plants from decoration. Adding plants can maximize out your space in your house, and it can also add some nature on the inside. Whenever you have a space in your house that's empty and you're not exactly sure what to put there, try adding a plant. Let me know if you are going to try these tips, or if you have any extra tips in the comments below.
Tips on how to build better for beginners on Bloxburg.
Number 1 is walls. Don't make it look blocky like this, okay? Or else nobody will like you and everyone will just think you're ugly, what you should do is you should just play around with the walls, honestly, in my opinion. What I do is I just play around with it and then somehow I make it work and then it'll turn out like a masterpiece. Number 2 is roof. You should use these arrows that I'm showing you right now because they help, and make sure to use this grid. Large, medium or small, that helps a lot, okay? Number 3 is wall trims. I use this one on the outside and inside. They'll be your best friend and they make a difference. Number 4 is porch. You can make this using tables, but I'm using the basement game pass. Okay, number 5 is doors and windows. Now this is important. Let's say I'm using traditional doors, for example, okay? Place it however you want, but don't make an ugly door, okay? And then when you go to window, choose the same window. So it's like traditional window, right? Do you get what I'm saying? And look how good that looks. You have to take my advice, right? And then after that, just like place it however you want. But you can make custom windows too, but that would just be too much effort. Then just copy paste, but don't make too much windows because then it'll just look bad like how I did. But I made a mistake. Okay, now is paths. Don't use the actual path option. If you're a noob, you would do that, okay? Use the floor, but if you want to make curves, then you should make it step by step because I just drew it fancy, but I didn't like that, so I just redid it. Okay, number 7 is color. I have the worst time doing this, but I use brick because it's easier. Then make sure you color everything else the same color scheme. Yay. Okay, number 8 is gardening. Make sure to put stepping stones on your path because it'll just look even better. And if you want, you can color your push the same color as your path, okay? So here I am just coloring the door. Then after that, you should like scale your trees because it'll just look way better. And make sure they're different colors, okay? And then put bushes everywhere and flowers. Make sure flowers are important. Flowers are important. And just make sure to color them, but make sure it's not too bright, okay? Because then people will get blinded. And here I am putting everything else. Number 9 is lighting. Make sure you color it the same as your color scheme. And for the more realistic look, make sure it's flint. Bye!
Bloxburg working. Tips for you. Don't delete pizzas, as you get the same one every time. Don't get off your bike when getting a pizza. Do this instead. Make sure your moods are always boosted as you get My first tip is to not make your houses too boxy, but also don't make it bumpy, if that makes sense. I don't usually use automatic roofs, but if you see this roof just looks bad but with a nice shaped house, the roof looks pretty decent. My next tip is to just avoid using these tools. A bunch of beginners add them because they're not that expensive. But please just work a bit to buy better door because these mostly look bad on houses. On the topic of doors, notice what type of door you're adding to your house because it may not match your style. See if you add a modern style door to a modern house, it will look better than if you add it on a suburban house. And this applies on every style out there. My last tip is to add gardening. It will make the house look 100. Anyways, as I was saying, it will make the house 100 times better. And even if you are on a low level, you still have all these plants you can add. And if you want better, then babe, you have to work on your gardening skill. That's all it'll probably make a part 2 by every. A Bloxburg tip I wish I knew sooner, because it quite literally would have saved hours of time.
is the fact that you can group objects with Transform Plus. All you need to do is first place a block, then place another block or object on top of the block you just placed. After that, use Transform Plus to move the block you just put on top of the first block. Now they're grouped and you can copy and paste as much as you want. You can even keep grouping them like I did. This is so useful for making custom roofs, walls, wall decor, bricks, and etc. Anyways, thanks for watching.